Hey everybody, Ben here. I have a message for someone, and I'm happy to be back in this kind of energy. First and foremost, thanks for clicking on the video, and thank you for showing up for yourself each and every day. So, this morning on my window, there was, I forget what they call them. It's like a design. So, some readers or messengers, they'll use like paper or I don't know what kind of material it is. I think they're called scrolls, like kind of the same material you'd see like in a Muslim bag or something. And they do designs and whatnot with ink, and then they fold it in half and they open it back up. For the life of me, I don't know what that's called, but it looked like that on the window. I tried to get a picture of it and it wasn't working, and I tried to draw it, and it doesn't do it justice. I'm not a very good drawer, but this is what we got here. And like I said, it doesn't do it any at all justice, but I see this as two things. When the message came through, I focused on this, and it looks like a bridge. But at first, I also thought, this could be an injury. Almost looks like a broken blood valve and or a bone. But we're gonna look at this as a bridge, and as you can see, uh, pieces are everywhere. The bridge is not there. So anyway, I was pretty happy. I had a big clear of energy. Uh, I made a mark on the wall with my pen, and that kind of was like, oh shit, how am I going to get that off? Well, it's wood. I can just sand it off. It's going to be okay. We had an oopsie, however that looks. And yeah, we already talked about the bridge. And what was my note? Hold on one second here. Okay. So obviously, if this is the water, land on either side, and we got our big piece here and all these little pieces everywhere, if we actually think about it, and that as a bridge, like a car would drive over, those pieces are huge. They're very heavy. How are we going to do this alone? Do we need to rent equipment? That's going to be expensive. Is it public? We need permits and all these steps and processes. Whether this is something internal with us, a goal or a plan that we had, or a relationship with another. That's a lot of shit to do. That's a lot of hard work, especially if we don't have the resources like machinery or money to do so. And, if it's a relationship, maybe we did an oopsie and we came to epiphany and we're like, wow, I was a really bad person. Or maybe they were and they want to rebuild this bridge. And there's a lot of joy here that came through, that we have this opportunity again, that we get out of this energy that we'll get to in our cards that we may possibly be in or we were in before we had this epiphany. It is a lot of work to do this. It is. There's great reward and it can be done. The biggest thing is that we focus on the foundation. Of course, like if we just put these pieces here and we put a bunch of weight on it like a car with a poor foundation, it's going to collapse again. So we need to build up our foundation. Anything that we do in life, any part of our life, as long as the foundation is good, it's not going to be shaken. So our first card is the Fool reversed. Stagnation. Fear of taking the step forward, which, makes sense. That's a lot of work. That is a lot of work if we're looking at it as like a bridge. These pieces are heavy. And if these are wounds or mistakes that we made, it's a lot to clean up. I get it. Like it's a lot of work. And maybe we don't know the way. Our next card, Five of Pentacles, hardship. What else could we say? Whatever took place was very painful in a lot of different ways. If it was financial or housing or couldn't eat, and all these types of things. Maybe we did something wrong and it created something in the legal system, or a relationship we acted out and we were in a bad energy when we did it. We were acting out of a wound, made a fool of ourselves. So many things. We stormed out of our job and we regretted it, and now we are in a place of lack or loss. A lot of things there. Justice, karma, and karma shouldn't be taken the wrong way. Justice in this way is truth. balance. You know, the truth is the truth. It can't change. It is what it is. And we got to come to a place to take responsibility for our actions, of course. Karma, I like to say, is an experience for an experience. A lot of people, we like to say, well, they did bad, they're going to get their karma, which in essence it is kind of like that, but this is more for a personal thing. It's, if I, you know, it's an experience for an experience. Everything is an experience. This right here is an experience. Me marking the wall was an experience. What I chose to do with it is inevitably what I choose to do with it. I could have flipped out and got really mad about it, and I started to. But then I said, you know what? We can fix it. We can fix it. Our next card was, how was that? That was reversed. Strength reversed. Insecurity. Self-limiting beliefs. Being overwhelmed. I get why. It's a lot of work. It's definitely overwhelmed. Can I do this? I don't know how to build a bridge. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to fix it. Yeah, these are real faults, real problems, real stuff. We need to dig in and find that limiting belief and courage that we can do this, and we will. Then our last card, missed opportunities. Ace of Pentacles reversed. Blocked out of fear, probably, more than likely. How could it not be? We do get ourselves in a place that we start to beat ourselves up and say, well, you know, like let's just use a job, and we're, you know, really tight for money, and we bypassed one that was a lot less money because we're going for the gold, and it's not working. No one's accepting or giving us an offer, and we're like, shit, I should have taken that just to get by, you know, and we're going to beat ourselves up. Or, you know, a relationship, and I shouldn't have been so stubborn. I should have just chased after them and told them how I really feel, but I'm insecure about my feelings, or I'm afraid to open up that way, you know, or I shouldn't have drove while drinking, you know, all these different things that we can beat ourselves up about. But if we didn't do it, we wouldn't have learned or gotten to a point to see that, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't behave this way, or I shouldn't have done this, or I should just be open about my emotions and my feelings. You know, this is also like getting shit off your chest. I had this huge clear of energy. Granted, the past readings, messages, however you want to call them, I was doing before, were pretty heavy. And it was dense, and there was a lot going on, and I was glad to be out of there. Getting something off our chest, whatever this is. Movement. You know, if we just want to say something, whether it's saying our part or truly expressing our feelings about something, you know, getting that off our chest, my God, how great is that going to feel? Sitting that and letting it fester is a huge disservice to ourselves. But I get it. I've been there too. I'm not knocking it. But once it's over, it's like, oh, finally, you know, it's gone, whatever it may be. And we're, like I said, these cards all look negative, but we are going to rebuild that bridge, whatever it may look like. Just have the courage. It's there. Nothing's impossible other than how we make it in our head. We'll get through this. I wish you the best. And I was happy, so you'll be happy too. See you guys.